It's much bigger than this, yeah. It's much bigger than this. It's much bigger than this, yeah. It's moving quickly. It's moving quickly. It's much bigger than this, yeah. It's much bigger than this, yeah. You can't imagine what I'm doing. You can't imagine. It's much bigger than this, yeah. It's much bigger than this. God says, He says it's bigger than you think. He said the way will be worth it. It's bigger, it's wider, it's greater, my daughter, than you imagined. Are you ready? Are you ready to receive it? To receive it. It's bigger, it's greater, it's wider than you think. It's bigger, it's bigger. Oh, it's much bigger than this, yeah. It's much bigger than this, yeah. It's much bigger than this, yeah. It's much bigger. It's much bigger than this, yeah. It's much bigger than this, yeah. God says it's bigger than the heartbreak you went through. He has a great promise in store for you. It's so great, you can't begin to comprehend. Oh, God says make room, 'cause the arrival is here. It's knocking on your door. It's bigger than this, than what you went through. And God, He's going to restore. It's much bigger than this. It's much bigger. It's so much greater. My humble one, just know no tear you cry will go in vain. Not even your pain. I saw what you went through. I was there when they walked over you. But I want you to know that your pain held a purpose. And those moments when you felt worthless has built up to this promise. Oh, you're worthy of love, yeah. You're worthy of that safe space to healing. You're worthy of the promise. 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 You're worthy of what I have for you. My daughter, wipe the tears from your eyes now. 'Cause soon you'll be walking down that aisle with a smile. And I'll hold your hand, and I'll hold your hand. I'm giving you away to a mighty man. He had to come deep in me for you. I hid you. I protected you. I shielded you. 'Cause you are my royal diadem. Yeah. You're shining brightly in my hand. Look at her, God saying, look at her. Look at what you've been through. Look at who you've become. You made your father so proud. So I'll display it and I'll scream it out loud. That's my daughter. That's my daughter. Jesus. Whew. Hey y'all, what's up? So I just wanted to come on and say I was just singing, flowing in the spirit, and I just kept, it's much bigger than this, yeah. I just could not stop repeating that. It's much bigger than this, yeah. And I was trying to record it, but I was like, let me just hop on live, because then that way it'll be easier for me to just go ahead and do it and then go about my day. Hey, Roach, I'm just kidding. But it's so much bigger than what you can ever think or imagine. It's so much bigger, and that's all I just kept saying. It's much bigger than this, yeah. And whatever else God just had me say, I'm about to end the live so I can go back over and hear what I said, because I don't even know what I just said. I know I said something about it's bigger than this, what you've been through, it was a purpose or something like that. And then God started talking about he's walking somebody down the aisle. Like, it's like, okay, God, whoever that will be for, whenever you watch it, I pray that God, I pray that God, but I pray that you receive that word for you and know that you don't need to have your Father walking you down the aisle, because your Father himself is going to be walking you down the aisle. It's going to be beautiful. And no, I'm not deleting this, y'all. I'm not. I just wanted to put this on here. Yeah, God talked to me about the veil being lifted weeks ago, but I just received an okay today to release it because of what's been going on. And I just want to give a word of wisdom and advice to the single women out there. If that first part of the word applied to you, not you, I just want to say, when the veil has been lifted, it's not just your husband that can see you, it's other men too. So just make sure you're being conscientious and following the voice of the Holy Spirit, so that you're not falling susceptible to the wrong people, because what God has is going to happen no matter what, right? But when you're right at the promise, like you already crossed over the threshold and it's right there, like you're literally standing right in front of it, like what I was mentioning the other day, what ends up happening is Satan begins to send distractions. And distractions can come in the form of removing you from your dwelling place in God and resting, and having you begin to focus on all the things going on around you. But distractions can even go down to him sending people into your life that are not meant. So this does not just have to be counterfeit men, but this can be counterfeit women, counterfeit opportunities. So you want to make whatever the promise is that you have, just keep your eyes on God. I was watching this episode of my favorite show, and her daughter was going through a very traumatic situation, and the mom said, don't pay attention to what's happening to you, just keep your eyes on me. And I said, God, that's exactly what you want us to do, no matter what situation we're going through, no matter what promise we're waiting on to come to pass, no matter what expectation of you we have. And when I say expectation, I mean God revealing certain aspects of his character to you. Because I don't want to make it seem like we're only focused on things. We're only like, no, that's not it. But I'll be lying if God hasn't been talking about fulfilling things for his children in this season, okay? So we're just speaking from what God is doing now for his children. He's revealing deep things, but he's also bringing you to your promise. So whatever that looks like for you. So I just wanted to add in that tad bit of advice because, yeah, you passed the test. Yeah, everything's good. But you gotta recognize if you're in that what I will call the victory lap for marriage, it's all the more reason for you to be closer to God, because Satan does not want that to happen. Because when you get married, prayers will be answered, things will be shifted, things will happen more quickly than it would if you were by yourself. So that's why marriages are under attack. That's why people have the perspective they do about marriages. But when it's a God ordained one and it's something that God has brought forth, it's going to set a purpose in the kingdom. It's going to make waves. And if you got two people that's already making waves on their own, and then you bring them together, of course that's an issue. I already got an issue with you waking up and then being over my head. Now it's two of y'all? Oh, nah. So just make sure y'all being aware of that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do, was just come on and to flow in what God was just giving me to flow in. And I will talk to you guys later.